Mark Watts, Elitefts.com. I'm here at Showtime Strength Performance in Newark, Ohio with owner Nick Showman. We want to go over a very comprehensive single leg RDL / single leg good morning progression that will actually include some regressions in there as well too. So hopefully we'll give you a couple different ideas to how to progress your athletes when you're doing those. The benefits with the single leg RDL would be that it will be more stress on the glute and hamstring, but not as much stress on the lower back. And again, it's a single leg unilateral exercise, which is going to have some benefits for sports performance. So the first thing we like to do is just go through a really quick reach back. So again, what Nick's going to do is he's going to be in a position, and all he's going to do is just keep a good posture, shoulder blades back, pockets, slight bend in that front knee. He's going to reach his toe back as far as he can. What that does is just initiates the athletes of just engaging that glute and reaching back. The next progression with that will be doing the same thing, but now he's going to dorsiflex. So instead of trying to reach with his toe, he's going to do that, but with a dorsiflex, he's actually going to use a little bit more a knee bend. And again, at first, when you're teaching beginning athletes, don't worry about how much that knee bend is. They'll be able to activate that glute and hamstring. And again, don't be as particular with that. The other progression you can do with that is you can actually have the athletes walk backwards that direction too. Something we got from Ingram Markham, who ended up utilizing that just as a progression. So once you get the athlete comfortable with just initiating movement that way and keeping good posture, then you can go ahead to an assisted. We're going to use a prop, but you can use a rack or whatever, but now we're going to go ahead, you can have both hands on, you can have one hand on, whatever. So now Nick's going to go ahead and do the same basic movement, but now he's going to initiate by bringing his back leg up. Don't initiate the movement by bringing your chest forward, initiate it by bringing the back leg up. So again, same thing, do another rep. So again, same thing, good posture. He's going to reach, but we still want to have those shoulder blades back. And again, he's going to reach his foot back. Two things that Nick brought up. One thing, make sure that the athlete does not have their foot rotated out. Make sure that toe is pointed to the ground. Secondly, make sure that the athlete, again, we want to bring that foot up and back. We want to reach back to the wall. Don't just have the athlete bring it up, bring it up and reach back. We should have a straight line from the heel to the hip and to the shoulders as we go through that. That will be based on the flexibility of the athlete, okay? So the next thing we're going to do, the next progression is going to be using something against the wall. So again, this is something that I've seen Jim Radcliffe, who is one of the leading coaches, head strength coach in Oregon, who is probably one of the experts in plyometrics, but this is a progression that you use. Basically, you can use it as an RDL or a good morning. So where it is he's going to have his back foot. The first progression would be to have that toe, we have a wood beam there, have that toe into that wood beam or onto the ground. So you're just going to initiate that movement. Again, I should still see, if I'm coaching, I should still see what's written on Nick's shirt from the front. And then the next progression would be to go ahead and bring that leg up a little higher on the wall. So now he can't use his toe and pushing off that back foot. Now it kind of isolates, he's pushing back with the opposite foot, just like our drill here. Now it gives him a physical cue. And again, same basic thing. So you see his back leg is bent a little bit. You can progress that any way you want to. You can actually have them far enough away they can have that back leg straight. Or you can do that drill where they have to go ahead and touch that wall. So the last progression you can do with this, you can incorporate some kind of plyometric with this. So the basic one we'll do is Nick will go ahead and do the first initial exercise where he's going to go ahead and do his, and again, he can load this up as well, either on the chest, on the back, and his hands. And again, he's going to go ahead and execute just a jump from that position, from RDL position. So jump off the left, landed on the right. The next progression with that would be, obviously, if he jumped and landed with the same leg. So again, it's just a way to load that posterior chain up and then do an explosive movement off of it. Similar to sprinting. And again, so if you have some athletes or maybe non-track athletes, that'll kind of correlate a little bit more. Last two things we'll go over will be just how to load up the movement with the dumbbell. So from here, he's just going to go ahead and the basic premise is I can either have two dumbbells in each hand, I can have a plate long ways, I can have a plate or a kettlebell to my chest, and I'll go ahead and execute the movement. So he's going to execute one using both hands, and then, and again, how he has that just doesn't really matter. But again, changing the center of gravity. So again, he's really going to try to reach that foot back. Again, slight bend of the knee, getting some proprioception with the front foot, and again, drive through the heel and up. The other progression you could do to alternate from week to week or session to session would be same movement. Now, if I have the kettlebell or dumbbell in the opposite hand, so the same hand that goes with the leg that goes up, opposite hand. So it's very similar to a running mechanics. Now again, what that does is just having the load on the other side activates more of that glute medius. Again, not a physical therapist, but again, that's one of those things. And you know how important those glutes are for injury prevention and for power production. So again, those are the progressions, regressions, and some of the variations you can use. You can also do that same plyometric drill with our wall, and again, an RDL to a jump onto a box, or even as a broad jump. So that's kind of the progression you're using. Again, you can change it by a couple of things. You can change it by load. You can change it by where that weight is in reference to your center of gravity. Obviously, the higher is going to be the harder of the exercises, and again, then you can add in some explosive type movements with that as well too. So again, try to incorporate those great posterior chain variations that you can use, single leg RDL, single leg good mornings, and you have a bunch of different progressions and regressions you can incorporate in your program. So if you have any other ideas or any other variations that you like, make sure you put those in the comments because again, it can help other readers as well. Thanks.